Hey guys, my name is Danish and welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to have a part 2 on the Dell G15 laptop. And today is going to be an interesting day because there are quite a few interesting revelations that I understood and learned. So without further ado, let's just get started. So in the previous video I had my first impressions of the Dell G15 laptop, and if you haven't watched it you can go check it out over here. Pause this video, go check it out and come back. Okay, now that you're back, a quick refresher. The specs of the laptop are right here, right next to my face. It has a 5600H processor with an RTX 3050 dedicated GPU and 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigs of NVMe storage, a 1080p 120Hz refresh rate display on the front, and red keyboard backlight, which is really useful. Other than that, it was an interesting laptop, and I wanted to make a video about how you have to de-bloat a new laptop or a new system, and I wanted to go through the steps with you. And to begin with, I just opened up the start menu and looked through all the items and went into settings, and the first thing that I uninstalled was the McAfee stuff and all of the unnecessary bloatware like Skype. If you don't use it, you don't really require it to be installed, and if you have to reinstall it, you can really easily reinstall it again. That is not a big issue, but McAfee was always a huge storage bandwidth hog. I've seen that a lot in the hard disk drive laptops and hard disk drive systems, where McAfee with this background scans just eats up all of the bandwidth of the hard disk and keeps it at 100% usage. If you ever want to check it out, just right click on the taskbar, go to task manager and click on performance, or you can see that the disk is being used 100% with just background tasks. Okay, don't look at the games. Those were something that I installed to do testing for all the benchmarks that I did, and coming to that in a bit. So I uninstalled McAfee, and I had done tests in stock mode and I did tests after de-bloating, and if I'm looking at the scores, there isn't much of a bonus or a gain. And this confused me for a second, but then I thought about it and I understood that even though McAfee and all of those bloatware do take up a lot of resources, when it's an NVMe drive with a lot of bandwidth and a high speed of read and write, it didn't really affect the hard disk performance or the system performance overall. So even the G mode that was there with the keyboard, if you press G it will go Alienware gaming mode enabled. Even with that on and off, I have tested it with the similar settings, and all of those runs came nearly equal to each other with a bit of run to run variance, which I can ignore and not really count as a substantial gain. So I don't know what G mode does, but in just normal performance mode the score was pretty good. If you go into battery saver mode and you wanted to game, it would usually throw you into the integrated Radeon graphics and not give you enough performance unless you manually push it to high performance mode on battery life. So that is something you have to watch out for in a dual GPU laptop, which this is. So that was an interesting take. And then de-bloating was normal. I just removed all of the unnecessary bloat, all the deliverable things, temp folders, did all the updates, checked for all the updates, and I guess that was it in terms of optimizations that I could do. I went into resource manager and also made a few processes go into manual mode, like the print spooler and the Xbox game services and all of that, which really don't get used unless you have a printer at home or you're going to play with Microsoft Store games on the Xbox app. So disabling those was just reducing a bit of background utilization, but overall I did not make a big dent as I suppose I would have experienced with a regular hard disk drive laptop. So this was a new experience in optimization of a laptop with good specs that you don't really need to optimize, and you won't even know if it has been optimized or not and cleaned or not unless you go through all these specific steps and understand what you're doing. Now in terms of uninstalling unnecessary applications, if you do not know what you're uninstalling, if you do not know what that app does, don't touch it. Anything that has your laptop's name on it, so if you have a Dell laptop, it has a bunch of Dell applications, most of them are drivers and utilities, you will require those. Even those Dell warranty and support services you will have to keep, and as long as the warranty is available for your device, just to make it easier for all of that to be processed if or when something happens. Knock on wood, it shouldn't. and other services, like if you are having a Dell laptop and Alienware services there, that is okay. There are a few other services. If you have a third-party modem like an Intel modem or a killer modem, then they will have their own driver. So if you don't understand what you're uninstalling, don't touch it, let it be. Just change the boot priority in startup. If you don't know what it does, don't touch it. If you know what it does and you don't want it to start up, disable it and reduce a bit of boot time. And other than that, I don't think much can be done in terms of basic day-to-day optimizations. I didn't do any third-party installs that they will require. I'll just let them do whatever they want after they got the laptop. Whatever things I had installed to do testing and benchmarking, I completely purged before giving the laptop back, so there's no bloatware from my side as well. So yeah, I guess that was a short video that I wanted to make. I wanted to make it a bit longer, but in the end I didn't get the desired effect that I wanted to, but still I wanted to give you the information. So when you go through a similar situation and you don't get the results that you might be looking for, it's okay. Just understand what's going on and figure it out. If you like this video, give this video a like, get subscribed to my channel and ring the bell icon to receive notifications for all of my future videos. Comment down below if I missed anything, or if you want to know any other shortcuts that you might have seen, or have I missed a shortcut that you might know of an optimization step. Do let me know. I'll try to understand it and implement it into my cleanup process that I do regularly on all of my devices. And as always, follow me on my social media channels for all the fun content that I put over there as well. And stay home, stay safe. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.